So good morning, Jonathan, Mr. Kruger. It's so wonderful to actually make connection with you and to have a link in, especially your area, your country. So can you introduce yourself for me, please?
My name is Johnathan Kruger. I am from Ktiwe in Zambia on the Copper Belt. Yes, and I've lived here most of my life, except I did spend 7 years in Japan as a missionary, but most of my life I have lived here in Ktiwe, Zambia. Yes.
Fantastic. And that's a strand straight away. 7 years in Japan. How good is that?
That's right.
How good was that? Wow.
It was quite an experience, yes, as a missionary working there.
Yeah. So we've made connections, and that's something that we could talk about how that came about. But the main thing is now we're here, and you're going to tell us and show us indeed about what you have started in terms of your museum.
That's right, yes.
So I believe at this time now you're going to do a little bit of a walk around. Is that right? And
yeah, sure. So you'll just have to excuse me as I'm using my phone here.
Yes.
Okay. So what would you like to see first? The thing about the African soldiers serving.
Okay.
Here, as you can see, here we've got some of the stuff. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This was used by the 82nd West African Frontier Force. Sorry, the 82nd West African Division in Burma in the Arakan.
Okay.
We have SAS bayonet here, which was used by C Squadron of the Northern Rhodesia Regiment in Ndola. A bayonet. Oh, here is the machete that was used by the West Africans. As you can see, this was used in the jungles of Burma against the Japanese. Here you can see the West Africans.
Wow. I bet that machete's got some stories to tell.
Yes, it's got a few dents. If I take it out, you can have a look that there is a few dents. So I think it has been used in the jungle as well as probably hand-to-hand combat.
Wow.
Here's the West Africans arriving in Burma. As you can see, the early version, they didn't have a collar. So that means that this is when they arrived. Here is the Northern Rhodesia Regiment arriving back home from Burma. This is them marching down Cairo Road in Lusaka.
Okay.
You can see the maps. This is the 22nd East African Brigade coming down. There's Ramri Island. I'm sure you've heard of Ramri Island. It's where it's in the Guinness Book of Records, known as the largest crocodile attack.
Is that right?
Ever known. Yes. The British forces and the Africans pushed the Japanese into the swamps, and the crocodiles attacked them. And many Japanese were eaten by the crocodiles. Yes.
Amazing.
And some of our veterans even told me the stories that they could hear the screams when the crocodiles were eating the Japanese during the night.
Oh my goodness.
Interesting story. Here is the you can see this is the 11th East African Division coming in from India in Dimapur, Kohima. They didn't fight in Kohima and Impor. They just went through there after the campaign through Tamu, Mawalik. The barracks in my town is named after this campaign here in Mawalik, Kalewa. The Rhino Division, the 11th East African Division. Yeah, we've got some of their old helmets here.
Wow.
There's John Ruston. He served with the West Africans in Ghana, Ivory Coast. Some of the West African badges. Some of my favorite photographs of the Africans with their Japanese things. I mean, the Japanese Hinomaru flags. They actually signed it for me.
Wow.
Yeah. Let me just go here. Northern Rhodesia recruiting poster. Let's see how you can read that. Ava, see if you can read that in.
It's got Lawani Usakari. Sorry,
Lawani. That means you're Askaris.
Oh,
Yeah, he's calling on the Africans to join the army. Yes,
right,
yes.
right.
Here's the Queen Mother giving the colors to the Northern Rhodesia Regiment.
Okay.
This is touching. This will touch you. Carry on, Dad. We love liberty and hate oppression. These are the fathers saying goodbye to their children as they're going off to serve.
Oh my
You see
goodness.
that one?
Yes. Yes.
Here we
What
have
a
the
picture.
Burma Star.
The what star?
The Burma Star.
The
The
Burma
Burma
star.
Star. This is everybody who served in Burma was given this.
Indeed.
Yes,
Indeed.
yes. Oh,
Wow.
this is an interesting thing. You see this painting here is the Royal West African Frontier Force with the shield. This was sent to me by an old lady who still remembers the West Africans in 1945 saving her village from the Japanese. And in honor of that remembrance, she painted this in her lounge.
Wow.
And she got the Africans in 1945 to paint it for her. It's a bit faded, but there you can see the palm tree, the Royal West African Frontier Force, the cross spears and the shield. Can you see
Wow.
that?
So that's the actual painting that was done in 1945.
Yes, that's the actual painting. It was, she told her family that if it wasn't for the West Africans, she wouldn't be around today. So her family every year honor them, and they have a special gathering in the lounge where the West Africans painted that in her house.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing story.
Here is
stories, I should say, stories.
yes, here's a story telling the Japanese to surrender because you can see the Valley of the Bones, which is the Caledon Valley, telling them their fight is, there's no need to fight anymore because, well, this is what's happening to the Japanese, and why are you continually resisting in Burma when this is happening to you people? The valley, the Burma Valley of Bones. It was a propaganda thing. Here we have King's African Rifles, Askari Wetu Washinda wa Japan, smash the Japs.
Wow.
There you can see an African soldier of the King's African Rifles stepping on the back of a Japanese.
Oh my goodness.
Here's another one, Askari Wetu Washinda wa Japani. Yeah, this is what they were telling the Africans, that we've got to smash these Japanese. We've got to get them out of Burma. Yeah.
Wow.
Here's some of their uniforms. This is a Royal Artillery uniform, 1941. As you can see.
Yes.
This is a rare one. This is, I don't know if you've heard of the St. John's ambulance.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Now, this is a Northern Rhodesia one. This is what his battle dress looked like in World War II.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see the ranking there. Can you see his ranking?
Yes, yes, yes.
What would you say? That is a lieutenant, isn't it?
I would imagine so, but they're so different, the different rankings in different military.
There's his hat. There's his hat.
Yeah.
So these guys would be probably in the medical corps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here we have a West African uniform, and the officer's bush hat and plume. See the West African. Yeah. And behind here, there's his Sam Brown. You're looking at something that's over 70 years old here.
So a lot of these artifacts are actually ones that were worn by.
Yes, yes, everything here is worn. This was worn. This is not replicas.
Wow.
These are real. There I'll show you. Can you see the palm tree? The plume?
Yes.
Made in Kent.
Made in Kent.
Let me put that back. Yeah, made in Kent. That's where they were made, and they were sent to Africa. Here's a Japanese flag that the Africans brought back home. Okay, I'll sort that out. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Okay. Here we have, this is District Commissioner's uniform. Can you see the hat?
Yes.
And this is his jacket. Yeah, let me put that back. Here we are. Yeah, this is it. Now you've heard of the district commissioner, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he would be like, what do you have in the UK? Do you still have district commissioners?
Yeah, it was definitely a familiar term, but
Yeah.
I can't say that what it's equivalent to at the moment. But we definitely had that, if we don't still have them.
This is a Northern Rhodesia, what do you call district? He would go into the villages. He would tell he'd be the representative of the British Crown, and this one's about around from the late 1940s, early 50s.
Yes.
There's another jacket. This is the just on the eve of independence between the Northern Rhodesia Regiment and the Zambia Army. Right. Okay. So let me go. So here we have, here's a nice one. United Nations, the Zambian Army, United Nations. They are some of the most disciplined United Nations peacekeeping force. That's right. So they gave that to me as a donation.
Wow.
Here are the 82nd East African Brigade arriving back home. Notice now the uniform has changed. They've got a collar. There is the elephant.
Right.
This was a gift to me as well.
Right. And would that be at the end of the war itself, when they were arriving back home?
Yes, this would have been about 1946.
Okay.
The Africans were some of the last people to be repatriated back to Africa, because the first thing was all the white soldiers wanted to get home quickly. They were fed up, but of course,
yes,
the Africans were some of the last to go home. Some of these men were stationed in Burma even in 1946. Yeah. I love this one. The prayer is beautiful. Yes.
Okay. Right.
Okay, here's another one. They're showing that the Nazis have been squashed. Now it's the turn of the Japanese.
Oh, right.
Right. Okay. So here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Here we've got a Bren gun. See the rhino? This is the 11th East African.
Yes.
So what's the rhino doing? Can you see what the rhino's just done?
At the end of his and its tusk, I can see something hanging. At the end
What's
of its
that?
tusk. I'm not quite sure what it is.
That is a Japanese flag.
Is it?
Yes. And this is the original carving that they were given, because that was the 11th East African Division, which they had the rhino, the round signal of the rhino, as you can see there.
Yeah.
And these are as old as the 1940s.
So what's the significance of that flag being on the rhino's tusk there? Is that?
I think that's them saying that the rhino has just defeated the Japanese nation.
Wow. Amazing.
Okay. Let's see if I can get you. Okay, here we've got, that was the spider. That's the West African spider.
I can't see
this.
Just hold it around. Yes, better. Yes.
Yeah, all right. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah, this is the 82nd West African Division. Okay. The Japanese were terrified of these people. Wow. Yes. There you've got the 14th Army, the Forgotten Army of Burma. Okay. The Africans also served in the Chindits. I'm sure you've heard of the Chindits.
The Chindits. Can you explain a bit about the
This was a special force that was dropped behind enemy lines in Burma.
Oh.
Yes, and the West Africans, the British, and the Gurkhas were involved in this group here. Here we have the, what is this? The 28th East African Brigade, the Panga. 14th Army, Indian Corps Army, Indian Corps. Here's that badge with the cross spears of that lady I showed you the picture of. Yes. The West Africa. Yes, they were. That division saved her village. Oh, Here's the trumpeting elephant.
Okay.
Yes.
And what
Yes.
does that signify?
Well, you know, when an elephant stands in that position, he's ready for battle.
All right.
Yes.
Wow.
These
That's
formidable people.
that's quite stark. That really tells a
There's
story.
the elephant. There's the elephant, the original 1945 elephant wood carving from that.
Wow. Okay.
Mm.
Very
There
interesting.
we are. Yeah, well, I've got tons of badges here. Oh, here's another one. The Crested Crane, the Northern Rhodesia Regiment. They still march with the Crested Crane in battle even to this day. See if we got, oh, the Rhodesian African Rifles, the cross spears and the shield. Here's the palm tree, Royal West African Frontier Force, King's African Rifles.
Yes.
Here we got the rhino. Remember I was telling you about the rhino?
Yes.
Yeah. The Federation of Northern Rhodesia, Southern Rhodesia, and Nyasaland, the three spears. Oh, there's tons here. We can go and look at those things later on.
Amazing.
Right. Okay, I'll show you some more stuff. Okay, sorry. We'll have to walk around my house.
No problem.
All right. Okay.
This is all history in the making.
Yeah, here's a letter from Buckingham Palace.
Oh.
Dear Mr. Kruger, I have been asked to thank you for your letter dated 14th July informing the Queen of Buckingham as of remembrance service being held at the Cenotaph in Luanshya on the 11th of November, at which veterans of the King's African Rifles, the Northern Rhodesia Regiment, will be present.
Wow.
Your thoughtfulness in writing, as you did, is much appreciated, and Her Majesty has asked me to convey her good wishes
Great.
to all those who can be present for a most memorable gathering.
Fantastic. Which year was that?
Let me see here. 14th July 2014.
Great.
Right. Oh, here we have the 11th East African Bush Hat, the Northern Rhodesia Regiment. Oh, I got their feathers. Because the Crested Cranes march every year with the Zambia Army. The Crested Cranes have been with the Northern Rhodesia Police, then Northern Rhodesia Regiment, since the First World War. They have cranes that are ranked in the army and march with the soldiers.
Really?
Here we have this year. Yes, every year. They are taught. They are, I'd say, third or fourth or fifth generation Crested Cranes who are brought up in the army, and they even have rankings in the army. They receive even receive a salary and a pension from the army.
That's amazing.
Oh, yes, because it is the mascot of the first Crested Crane walked into the barracks before World War I and became part of the family. And from that time, the Northern Rhodesia Regiment, now the Zambian Army, take these animals very preciously as part of the family. Yes, I'll show you videos of them marching with the soldiers. And they stand to attention. They know all the different drills. They know when to stand to attention in front of the memorial service. Yes,
that
amazing.
Amazing.
I'll show you the video. I'll send you the video.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Here we have the. This is the 11th East African Division crossing the Caledon River. Yeah.
Can you bring that round a little bit to?
There you are. Can you see that?
That's better. Yes. Okay.
Here is the Queen with the West Africans in Nigeria. I think this is probably 1957. I'm not too sure. I'll just check on that.
Can you bring that round a little bit? Can't see all of it. That's better.
Yeah.
That's a little bit more.
How's that?
Yes, I can see her now.
Yeah. Oh,
Brilliant.
this is my favorite picture. Let me bring this out for you. Ah, here we are. Look at that. Look at that old soldier.
Wow. And
Yeah.
who is he?
All right. This is Sichone. Kenan Sichone. Served in Burma. Yeah, look at him. Still wearing that uniform, standing to attention. That's when he was 98.
When he passed?
Yeah, he passed away at the age of 98. That's just before he passed away.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah. Proud man, yes.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I told you that, yes, society seems to have forgotten these poor men.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay, right. So as you can see, there's other campaigns. Here we have MacArthur when I went to the Philippines, when he landed back in Leyte.
Okay.
I shall return some of the Filipino money during the Second World War, some of the bush hats that I picked up at the different places in the Philippines. I'm crazy about war stuff, you know. Yeah.
Yes, and great.
Let me show you some more here. Right. Here we have a district commissioner's messenger. Can you see him there? That's a hand-painted picture. Yeah.
Yes.
It's the district commissioner's sword.
Right.
Yes. Here we have an officer's British sword. This is a Wilkinson sword. I'm wondering if you gentlemen use that in the RAF.
Well, yes, that's a very well-known name here, and they are used.
You still use this particular model?
I don't know. I really don't know, but I know, history, what history is like. Very much have done that. I don't know whether it's still continuing to today, but they do have swords in the RAF and indeed the other military services.
Right. Now you see the knobkerrie and the spear there?
Yes.
You see that?
Yes.
Now that was a group of African people who were called the Lumpas, and their leader was a woman called Lenshina. And they didn't want to come under colonial or Zambian rule. And they fought even the new government of Zambia because they didn't want to come. And there was a battle between her people and the Zambian army. And they believed in her that she would cover them, and they were bulletproof. And they ran straight into the Zambian army, and the Zambian army, charged into a well-equipped army just with a spear like that and a knobkerrie, and they were mowed down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. We've just lost picture. Hello?
Hello?
We lost picture for a while there. We're still off. We're not got picture
Okay,
on.
just hang on. I'm just trying to find out why. Your video has stopped. Can I call you back again?
Yes, certainly. I'll just pause here as well and then you call me back.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.